Hello all, Sabedo here. Firstly, I have been visiting the Firewater Guild and I done a rumble there with them. Didn't do as well as I would have liked, time was a bit constricting for me. But hey, that's life. Anyway, we finished third in that rumble. We was up against Chili and Banane, and it was Wind Raiders 2, I believe, and I think Wind Raiders just about won. We finished third. Can't remember the fourth and fifth, I think. Over 18 plus was one of the guilds, and the other one I think was Imperial Crew. Anyway, I had a fun time there meeting everyone. It was super friendly. I had a right laugh, and I will be visiting them again when I have more time to rumble. So, what's happened? Well, I've got practically all my LPs back. I started the last bit of research on my brute. We've still got a way to go on the juggies, but everything else is max for Pirate all 9. In here, we've got Skellywaggs that need doing. Witch Doctor's done. Just started the Priestess earlier. Ghastly Gunsinger's finishing some point early hours in the morning, it looks like. So, I mean, that's something we have to concentrate on tomorrow. Let's have a quick look at the legendary fault. Yes, I'm using Jean de Berry. Because, I was rumbling. And I used Cornelius Heston. And I used Greenbeard. And then just to wrap it up, I started using Jean de Berry. But, I do like Jean de Berry. She's just sort of a bit of a tank for me just to throw in there. Black Bart's finished. I had the grog earlier, but I decided not to start. I'm going to try and get my troops done first and then worry about my legendary pirates afterwards. So I've got enough stuff sitting there. We're getting close towards getting to that level 20 mark there. Just need 9 more crocodile tears to get him going towards 20. Obviously I've got to do 19 first. Sadie's still sitting there pretty on 19. Max not far away from needing his stuff towards getting to 11. Ching Shi is coming towards a level 20. Can we get her to 21? I don't think so. I think we're getting close though. Yeah, another 18 golden idols would be on our way there. Who else we got now? So Tinto, 15. We need more Voodoo Master. 4 more. Wow. Okay. So it's quite a bit of rambling we've done there. That's the overall base. Continuing from yesterday, just an update. I'm getting very close. I might actually start that now, actually. Yes, let's maybe do that. If we need to spend some gems, we'll spend some gems in the future. Let's hit the button. Boom, there we go. So 12 days, roughly from now, we'll be going up to Pirate Hall 10. I'll make sure everything's maxed before then. It's only Mystic Mines, and another Flame Gate to do. So nothing to worry about. Okay, let's go into some of the replays now. I have done quite a few attacks today. I've had a few real bad failures, not even a 1-star, but I've been attacking a lot of Pirate Hall 10 and 11s today. So instead of me pushing that there, let's go on to, if my fat thumbs will let me. So we've got a Pirate Hall 10 there. I just want to go through a few of them. So there's a Pirate Hall 11 there. I've seen not many attacks on that, but they're still Pirate Hall 11s. There we go, that one looks probably a bit better. Let's just have a look at that bottom one again for the Pirate Hall 10. So let's keep going until we find one that I think will be reasonable for us to show a replay of. So let's start with the Pirate Hall 11. Let's just see what that's about. So here I'm using Cornelius Heston. As you all know, if you've been watching the channel, that I love Cornelius Heston, and I love using his apes. They are perfect distractions. They can set off shark traps as well. They can distract the fences. They lob them over a wall, so there's no tall buildings in the way. You can start getting to work on the mortars or Grand Pandas. Anyway, 28 gunners, 14 bombers, 1 witch doctor, 1 priestess, 8 juggernauts. Some people say I use too many juggernauts. Personally, I'm comfortable with 8 juggernauts. I would never get under 6 juggernauts. I don't feel comfortable enough using a bunch of gunners without enough tanks. Anyway, let's have a look. So I managed to get to, I think, again, 501 PR. Obviously, now, you can see this isn't a maxed out base by any stretch of the imagination, but these gun towers are decent. the mortar there and the mortar there is perfect. That's a decent level Pirate Hall 8 mortar, sorry, Pirate Hall 9 mortar. And, you know, Pirate Hall 9 cannons there, Pirate Hall 8s, I think there's some maxed out cannons as well. You have one sitting in there. So, you know, just pole through these level 5 walls. And I always spread my troops out. In goes the priestess. Wasn't too good with that today, really, the priestess. One time her ability sat there the whole time I greyed out and I couldn't use her ability. I did mention this to some of the members in Firewater, and they said they've had that happen too. I mean, it's just like flood the base. It's a little bit like Bucks and Gunners. I did do a raid a little while ago using Bucks and Gunners. I've got a bit rusty using Bucks and Gunners. I don't know why. I just have. So I've got to brush up on that again. But as you see, I mean, it's still a good job. And I'm really enjoying using these 20, or I think it's like 28 gunners. Really packs a punch. And obviously I love my Cornelius Heston as well. There is something also I've got to say, but I'm going to save it for probably tomorrow, maybe the day after. A big announcement. But I'm not going to use that announcement today. Just a little spoiler there. There's an announcement coming. Right, we'll try to find another attack replay. Heathen. Was that the one? Is that the one I really failed against? Yes, we won't show that. Wolf. I think that was a decent base. That's Pirate Hall 9, but still, I took on a lot of Pirate Hall 10s, a lot of Pirate Hall 11s. As I say, it was like late 400s as well. Let's see what this one's about. Ezio Shepherd. Really can't remember. Say, look, the berries in there too. Actually, I remember this base. I do remember it. So, yeah, obviously, I always take out the outline buildings first. I vary how I deploy my troops. Sometimes I go patiently for my gunners, clear out all these outline buildings, but there's so many tanky buildings here. You know, we're starting to take mortar hits there, and I'm starting to lose gunners, so I thought it'd be best to start getting some of my tanks in there, well, juggernauts. And now in come the bombs. Obviously, they'll get distracted with the outline buildings first, but especially with Witch Doctor, you know, decreasing the damage they take. That's why I just threw the bombers in there, because I know that I've got so many bombers there. Look, they've already busted through 2 lots of walls, and now they're going to town. The mortar's gone, there's a gun tower gone, a second gun tower's about to go as well. Then they're going to start switching on to the walls, and as you can see, they're in 2 different directions as well, which is perfect. We've got bombers coming in through to this section here, busted through this wall here as well. So I mean, we're really starting to tear apart the base. And a lot of people started saying, oh, there we go, a perfect priestess shot there. Unfortunately, didn't quite get that cannon, but you know, doesn't matter so much. Got a bunker and a decent level gun tower locked up. So, also the Pirate Hall there, which can't fire on me anymore, because I think that was short range. Yes, which, you know, would have been a pain for my Jean de Berry. Already taking shots off the pirate ship as well, by the way. Let's just speed this one up. So, I mean, obviously, I'm not attacking Mech's base with this. I do, if it's, you know, one of those puddle bases during the Thunderstruck event, then it's perfect for using my Bucks and Gunners. But for this, especially in a Rumble, I need something just a little bit more tanky. But I'm still not 100% satisfied with my army composition. Maybe I have to start thinking about mixing in some heavy gunners. Yes, or maybe some ghastly gunslingers. This is one of the Rumble rivals. So let's take a look at that base. I think that's a Pirate Hall 10, it said there. So I was streaking. Yes, I vaguely remember this. This was a tough base, real tough base. I can't remember actually. I'm sure, yeah, we must have busted in here. So I remember using their gunners, a couple of juggernauts just to tank any incoming damage. Got a gunners clearing the outline building. So I did try and get my bombers to punch a hole through this wall. They wasn't interested. And so we, you know, they walked around and they punched a hole in there. Guild ship is gone. So I've got just my bombers in there. Obviously with the Witch Doctor, they are taking on some really decent level defense, especially the bunkers. Obviously the gun towers are like Pirate Hall 8s, and so was the cannons. But now they're into this sort of big section here. They've got mortar shots coming from a decent level Pirate Hall 10 mortar. And then we go. I mean, we just go straight through the middle. That's where I was sort of aiming for. And again, resurrect a bunch of skellies in there. I get a couple of gunners trying to come from this way, take out that cannon if I can. Now I've got a skelly in there hitting on that mortar. Mystic mortar there as well. Ship, I quite like it. I think, you know, with better level defences and better level walls, I don't 100% this base. There's no way. To use, however, my guild ship troops. So I had gunners and a heavy gunner in my guild ship. I remember this raid. So, you know, that was maxed out heavy gunners, I believe, and gunners. And look at the damage that's going on to that pirate hall there. Just fantastic. But again, you know, I was against a pirate hall 10, so why shouldn't I be able to use, you know, decent level troops? But, you know, it was a fantastic raid. Take nothing away from that. It was very, very hard. Right, who we got here? So let's have another look here. Pirate hall 9. No, definitely not the heathen one. I did say we're not showing that. I mean, there's a lot of people here with higher pirate hall levels, but not quite done the work on their base. So we come a little lower here. We'll go through. There we go. Let's go through this one. I really can't remember this one either. Probably will once I see the base. So yeah, I mean, look, there is pirate hall 8 gun towers. There's this pirate hall 7 gun tower. Pirate hall 9 and 10 cannons. You've got mortars, so it's pirate hall 9 and 8 mortars. Oh, sorry, pirate hall 7 there, I think, the mortar. But, you know, decent level bunkers, apart from that one there. There's still a lot to do. The walls, again, are not up to scratch, but there's a lot of damage sitting in this base, especially with a tanky pirate hall 11, and you've got a decent level ship in the back there. So again, you know, just throw the bombers in there. Couple of tanks in there. Priestess gone flying there. Locked up half the base now. Fantastic. The key of using the juggernauts is if you can stun the base, use their ability. Maybe trigger their ability early, so that. Let's just pause this a second. I might explain. So triggering the juggernaut ability actually lasts a lot longer than any other ability from any other troop. To the best of my knowledge, it lasts the longest. And they take double damage, but they also deal double damage. So if you use that ability, start it early, let the troops get in there, use the priestess, stun up that base. So by the time your juggernauts get in now, hopefully half the time would have been wasted with that ability. So by the time roughly the stun finishes from the priestess onto the defences, then your juggernauts will be coming towards their end of their ability, but they would have done quite a bit of damage in that time. I hope that makes sense. Sort of went the long way around that there, didn't I? Let's carry on with this. So I thought I'd explain that. Don't just go using your juggernaut ability willy-nilly, you know, because they will die real quick. I mean, I used it there. I always mess around with my abilities at the end. But yeah, I mean, if you use it too early, you're going to take so much damage. Your tanks are not going to last, therefore your raid's going to go absolutely wrong as well. Just because you've got no tanks sitting in your base, sorry, in their base, which is a big problem. So okay, let's have a little look here. We've got another pirate hall 11. Really can't remember that. Again, we're looking for something a bit half decent here, where sort of the attacks and days man up to one another. 54%. Can't remember that. Craggy Islands. Yep, let's have a look at that one. So this is going to be our last replay. And then I need to get back to my guild. I've got a few things to sort out. Okay. So, I mean, we've got low-level Grand Pandas. We've got Pirate Hall 9 gun towers. We've got the... Sorry, Pirate Hall 10 gun tower there as well. We've got some Pirate Hall 9 and 10 cannons. So it's a decent base still. And look at those mortars. Perfect, man. They are killers. And there's another one in there as well. So I've got to take on 3 decent mortars as well, along with like Pirate Hall 9 to 10 blended. The only thing that was bad was position of the Grand Pandas, and that it was very low level. So again, you know, instead of me waiting around, oh, Greenbeard, I was using Greenbeard. He's fantastic. I love Greenbeard. So I've got my long line of Juggernauts going in. I've got my Witch Doctor in there, my big group. I always, not always, but most of the time I deploy them all in one area. And sometimes I just do a long line of them, like I do when I'm using my bucks. I put Greenbeard here and use his ability early, because I want to get some damage down to these buildings around here, and Greenbeard's going to go through those walls like a knife through butter. So anyway, I mean, again, I'm using my ability. Because there's not many cannons around this area to take out my juggernauts, which means I'm going to take out all these resource collectors and storages pretty damn quick. In goes the Nighty Night, because I'm hoping we're going to try and get our troops here, a few guns, take out this mortar before we take too much damage. And there we go, so all mortars are down now. All we've got left is the cannons and the gun towers. Obviously the bunkers as well. Priestess is going to go down shortly because she's got no cover. Got some decent level cannons there, and they're all in the back line here. We've got quite a few gunners left. We've got Greenbeard left as well. We are running out of tanks. This one's taking a lot of damage. So is this one here. This one's, you know, just under half life. Taking big damage. The gunners here slowly trying to 1v1 this cannon. But obviously it's not 1v1 because it's distracted. But we haven't got too many troops, if you see. We've got a Mystic Mortar in the back there. Both gun towers have finally gone down. And out goes the cannon too. So obviously, you know, just the Mystic Mortar left. Perfect. So sometimes you've got to take on the big base, especially when PR pushing. And I did do this from Pirate Wall 6, I was taking on Pirate Wall 7, Pirate Wall 8. So make sure you're not just picking on bases that's lower than you or the same level. Always try, when able, when you've got enough resources, try and attack bases that's stronger than yours. It really does improve your skills as a player. And when you do decide to push, or when you've got a rumble, or when it's a guild event and you'll get plunder points, this is really going to help your gameplay out. Trust me, guys. And you've seen it on past replays. Bucks and gunners with bombers, a witch doctor and a priestess, and I was pulling apart decent level Pirate Wall 10s and 11s, a lot better than the bases that you saw here today. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. There is going to be more tomorrow, I promise you, of live attacks, my apologies, because I know everyone loves the live attacks, and I can actually explain what I'm doing there, and then, you know, the thought process behind it all. Anyway, thanks for watching all, and bye for now.